Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome everyone to our communication call. The call was originally scheduled for vice presidents and above. That's our vice presidents as well as our senior vice presidents. But in talking with our corporate team, your corporate team, we came to the conclusion that the information we want to share today is compelling, it's exciting, I believe it's industry game changing, and I believe you will agree as we continue throughout the call. So it was important for us to invite our sales directors. And by the way, this past week, congratulations to every single person that is on this call. It was one of those record-breaking weeks. People achieving the ranks of team coordinator, sales director, all across the incredible globe in which Dubli is taking charge. Congratulations. It's exciting to know that the information we're going to share today will just grow exponentially. We're going to see amazing things happening, not only in your business, your personal Dubli business, but with Dubli all across the world. You know, as of January 1st, 2015, your corporate team made some really huge decisions. And those decisions were based on you listening to our leadership. This is an interesting call because it's not like there has to be any hype. Nobody's selling anybody on Dubli, the business that you're already breaking records and life-changing experiences. But as you can tell, I'm going to talk just a little bit slower on today's call because the information, the communication is so important. I don't want to give any miscommunication. I also want to ask, for those people that don't know me personally, I'm a pretty excited person and I'm passionate. And I'm only sharing that with you, not because this call has anything to do with me, but it's real important that you understand. Don't read into my excitement. I can tell you this, and when I say that, what did I just mean by that? We always want to be unique. You know, when I met Michael Hansen for the first time, he said, Dubli is unique. Our leadership is unique. Our business model, our company is unique. And that's exactly right. But it's also extremely professional. However, I know for the last 5 to 6 weeks that both Michael Hansen, myself, your corporate team, have not slept a wink. It has been the hardest 4 to 5 weeks I've ever experienced because we know something that you're about ready to hear. And more importantly, not only about to hear, but to take action, to execute. So right before we get into the information, let me just give you a couple of things. Let's just call it house cleaning. Number one, be present during this call. If you're a multitasker, you've got the kids, you've got the dog, you've got, ESPN on, be present. Be present during this call because you do not want to miss one word. With that, understand that this call, this webinar, is being recorded. It is being recorded, it will be edited so that it will be in your hands, in your email box by Wednesday of this next week. So you can play it over and over again. I know even on our last updated call, people heard something, maybe it's selective hearing, maybe they didn't, turn off ESPN, the news, whatever they were dealing with, and they swore they heard something that was not said. Let's all be present. We're leaders. We're the cream of the crop when it comes to Dubli and our network leadership. Let's make sure that we continue to listen carefully and, more importantly, keep it simple. Keep this call and the information we're going to share with you simple. Don't try to read into it, or what about this and what about this detail? Your corporate team will get you all the details in a newsletter by this next Wednesday. Every single thing that we're going to be talking about, you'll get the facts, complete, concise, in an email. And for the vice presidents that are on this call, you know that communication, and I'm going to mention it over and over again, as well as Michael Hansen, our CEO and founder. For the vice presidents on this call, you have my email address. you can hit me personally with an email so that we can make sure that there's no miscommunication and that you have the ability to communicate with your team properly with all the information. Well, we believe at Dubli Corp, for our incredible leaders, that they have spoken to us. As Michael and I just came off of a world tour just within the last couple of weeks and getting ready to start another one in the coming days, you've spoken, we listen, and I like to believe that we execute, and I believe you will agree as well. What I mean by that is real simple. We hear over and over again, Jerry, Michael, keep it simple. It needs to be simple. It needs to be easy. It needs to always be first class. We need to have the best in the business model, in all of our tools, in everything we do on a day-to-day basis. Advanced by August 31st. And here's how it works. What? It's $1 million contract. Now I'm going to walk you through very slowly. And I will use John as an example. John is on this call. He is a vice president. Now what happens is this, John. As a vice president, we are going to give you $2 million contracts. We're going to give you 2 Dubli $1 million contracts. It's almost like a voucher for $1 million. And here's how it works. You, John, between now and the last day at our Dubai event, which I believe is September 20th, now until September 20th, you pick very selectively. You can pick and give 2 $1 million contracts to 2 different individuals. One or both of them could be existing members in Dubli. One can be and one not. Or even 2 prospects that you believe in and you want to give your $2 million contracts for that. Is that a prospecting tool, a prospecting carrot? Absolutely. Is it a way to reward those people that are in my organization that are just started, they're a team member, they're a team coordinator, and I know what they've got the capability of doing? Can I give it to them? Yes, you can. But you only get 2. And let me give you the details. Listen carefully. John, in this case, I'll just use in my office right now, you give 1 to Jerry and you give 1 to Denise. And here's how we cash in on the $1 million contract. From the day you gave us the contract, meaning I've already got 3,000 people on my team. It starts the minute I sign the contract and Dubli signs the contract for Jerry and for Denise. And we have 2 years to do this. First year, first 12 months. First 12 months, Jerry needs to build his team, his personal team, his level team, meaning financially tied team, not in the team building because you get spillover. I build it organically, meaning I get 5 who get 5, who get 5, who get 10, who get 20, and they're all financially tied to me through the level program. And when those people enroll for the first 12 months and the second 12 months, when they enroll as a BA with a TM or a PPA package. Well, we all know for sure they're going to come in at the PPA package. Now, Jerry takes hold. John, thanks for the contract. It starts, let's just say, 1 month from today, and I'll get back to those dates in a minute. In 1 month from today, I start ground zero. I'm either a brand new member, I'm a part of John's team, or I'm even a prospect that says, yes, nobody's ever offered me anything like this, let alone everything else that Dubli has. And I start, and in my first 12 months, myself and my team enroll 2,000 new BAs that have enrolled with a TM or a PPA. 2,000, first 12 months. And by the way, there's people on this phone call, there's people that are part of your circle of influence, that is nothing. I know people on this call from other companies that did 10 times that amount in their first year, and they didn't have Dubli. They didn't have the loyalty program. They didn't have this. First 12 months, 2,000. Well, Jerry, what if at the end of 12 months I have 1,850? I'm only 150 short. The contract is void, null and void. You must hit the 12-month pin rank, the rank, the total, which is 2,000. And for the second 12 months, the second year, Jerry, the member, needs to grow my group by 3,000 new team members that have purchased either the team member package, the TM package, or the PPA. 2,000 the first 12 months, 3,000 the next 12 months. Well, what happens to Jerry then? Jerry at that time, after achieving, it might be 6,000 total, 10,000, I must meet the 2,000, 12 month, and the 3,000 the month after. Why is it larger? Because my team is going to grow larger. Your team, the person you gave the contract, their team's going to grow larger. Geometric growth. It's going to take place. At the end of that term, at the end of the 2 years, Jerry, what if I do it in 6 months? At the end of the 2 years, keep it simple. At the end of the 2 years, Dubli, Michael Hansen, your corporate team, is going to give you $1 million in stock value. $1 million. Now notice I didn't say 1 million shares. The value is $1 million. If the stock is 10 cents a share, $1 million worth. If it's $10 a share, $1 million worth. If it's $300 a share, you just received $1 million worth. So John, let's go back to John. John, you gave one to Jerry, you gave one to Denise. What's in it for you? What's in it for John, the vice president, or the senior vice president, or the person that will be vice president by the time we're in Dubai? August 31st is the key. What's in it for you is simply this: select carefully, choose carefully. Because when you give that, it's not transferable. That person you gave it to can't transfer it to somebody. You can't transfer your position to somebody that you just gave the 2 contracts for. Choose carefully. We're building this together as a team, and we're building it for long term. Here's what it means to John. John, 24 months go by. Jerry brought in 10,000, 20,000, 6,000. All those numbers are more than 5,000. At least 2,000 the first year, 3,000 the second year, for at least a total of 5,000. Well, John, because Jerry did it, we're going to give you $500,000 of value in Dubli stock. Wow. Well, what if Jerry and Denise did it? 500,000, John, from Jerry, 500,000 for Denise achieving it as well. So even you as the vice president have the ability. That's why we call it the new $1 million contract. All the details. And this is where I want to make sure you understand. If you're a sales director on here, you probably have either hung up or you're about ready to, because you need to go out now and get to vice president. For those vice presidents that are on this call, I want to share just a couple of quick little announcements that go with this. Number one, my email address, jyerke, Jyerke @dublicorp.com. jyerke dublicorp.com. So you're on this call and you say, Jerry, I have this question, I have this question. If you're a vice president, send me those questions. If you're a sales director on this call, you don't need to send me the question. You can email me and say, great, I'm going to do it. But the point is, until you achieve vice president, it doesn't matter when it comes to the details. But we're going to work with our vice presidents from this call moving forward. And for all vice presidents and senior vice presidents, this is now. This is right now. Within the next, and I'm going to say 30 days, always over deliver and under promise. It could be 2 weeks, could be 3 weeks. We will have those contracts ready for you in 30 days or less, because there's some people on this call, some vice presidents and senior VPs that are ready and they've made their choice. They've got it in their mind right now, or they're going to over the next couple of days. You're going to need to email me so I can work with our Dubli corporate team, work hand in hand with Michael Hansen and the corporate network team to make sure that we choose and choose wisely. And here's what needs to happen. Here's what this happens. Here's what this happens. Well, you know, Jerry, my name's Don, and I'm on this call. I'm a sales director. This is amazing. I've never heard of this. You're right. It's not in the industry. I've never heard of this, but I want to be able to participate. It's real simple. Become a vice president or a senior VP by August 31. And while we're together, oh, by the way, when we're together at the Dubai event, the Dubai Summit, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have a special gathering, a special event. We're going to be high-fiving. There's going to be million-dollar contracts and million-dollar Dubli networkers in that room, all shooting for what we're participating with our new million-dollar contract. Well, I believe those are the qualifications. That's the information that we wanted to make sure to share with you. I believe, and I know you will too, and I'll just let you take it from here, because it does take action. No matter how great our compensation plan is, no matter how great the bonuses are, this is the time for all of us to take action. Well, with that, there's no better person to come on. I will come on at the very end, Michael, and just talk about that special event. But I know that you're on the East Coast here in the United States, people around the world right now, India, Asia, Europe, it doesn't matter, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., but I know that you've got some exciting news to share as well with our incredible cream of the cream, the best leadership, I believe, in the industry, and that's our sales directors, vice presidents, and senior vice presidents. Everybody, our CEO and founder, Mr. Michael Hansen.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for the great information, and I would like to start congratulating everybody on this call here with all the news. It will really take your business to the stars. The reason why I'm on this call today is that I want to give you some corporate news, but before I'm doing that, I would like to talk a little bit about and add my comments on the announcement that Jerry just made. Because as Jerry said, we've been working really, really hard in the company, putting those things together, and every single announcement you heard today is a step on the way for really finalize our Dubli Academy. And as I've been saying over and over again, as Jerry already mentioned, is that you really need to treat this like a business. And if you look at the pictures here, I'm in New York right now, and the day before yesterday, I spent the whole day on NASDAQ preparing a listing for NASDAQ, and I saw a quote, I saw a poster on the wall in NASDAQ, and it was actually with Steve Jobs, and there was a text, and I was so excited when I saw this text, because I actually wanted to take the poster down from the wall and make it the first thing that you're seeing when you're going to take our new Dubli Academy. And the poster said, it was a picture of Steve Jobs, and it says that it takes a long time to build an overnight success. And I really like this saying so much, because that's exactly what it's all about, and that's the reason why that that the money back guarantee exactly running over 5 years. We really need to treat this like a normal business here, and every single business plan you make for every business out there, you always make a business plan for at least 5 years. So that's the message we want to send out. As Jerry also said, we really been listening to all the feedback, and if you look at any network marketing company out there, all network marketing company has some kind of an auto ship, and we also had this in Dubli for a long time, and that was to be qualified, you have to buy your monthly voucher. But with those changes we just made here, we actually completely removed this, because the question we've been hearing again and again is that, Michael, Jerry, I just signed up as a PPA and now I have 25 vouchers. Why are those vouchers not counting as a qualification for me if I can activate them? And that's the reason why we're making those changes here. So think about the effect this is going to have in your organization. Is every single one in your organization in average is having 20 to 25 VIP customer over the first 60 days in the business. This is going to be an unbelievable effect. And not only this, as I announced on the last call, we have a really, really big customer acquisition program that we're going to launch with a new platform, that we are going to pay crazy amount to our customer to bring in new customers, not only VIP customers, but also free customers. So there's a very, very good chance if you can bring in 20, 25 customers, those customers are going to explode to 100 or 1,000 of customers. So it's really, really exciting. As I said, every single thing announced here today is a part of our overall academy plan. The last thing I want to talk about before I go to the corporate news is the $1 million contract. And actually our plan in the beginning was just to give $1 million out in bonuses. But as I have been saying for many years, my goal with this company is to make more millionaires and more billionaires than the biggest company in the history until today has been making. That is Microsoft. Not a lot of people know it, but Microsoft actually made among their own employees more than 40,000 millionaires and billionaires. And that is our goal to beat that. And of course, every single one of you out there as a business associate, as a leader in Dubli, we also count as our employees. And that's the reason we are putting this program together here. And $1 million worth of shares is so much more for you than to get $1 million in cash, because now you get the best of both worlds. When you get the $1 million in shares, in theory, if you want, of course, nobody's going to do it, but you can go out the next day and you can sell the shares, and now you have $1 million in cash. Or you can keep the shares and get the best of both worlds, and hopefully the shares will go up to 10 million or to 100 million or to more over time. That's the choice you have. And of course, in 2 years from now on, Dubli is going to be a much, much bigger company than they are today. That means that the shares you're going to get at that time is as good as getting cash in your hand. That means you can go to any bank, you can borrow against it, and Dubli, of course, as a company, will also help you doing all this here. So this is really, really something that has never been seen before, and this is going to create a lot of millionaires and hopefully also billionaires over the next 5 to 10 years. Our goal is in Dubli is really, really clear. That is, we want to be the leading, we want to be the biggest e-commerce company out there, and we have a really, really clear strategy for that. And on the last call we had here, announced a lot of things that's going to happen on the Dubli.com site with the new platform, the new mobile app, the new academy. What you heard here today is new pieces on our overall plan. But of course, also on the corporate side, we need to make sure that we always having the best team around us. And over the last week, we made some changes on the corporate side. And one of the changes is that we want to expand our board to 7 members instead of 4 members. And the reason for that is that the requirement for NASDAQ is actually 7 board members. And the way we did it is that in the last couple of months, we have been talking to a lot of first-class, A-class people out there to really invite them to join our board. And over the last 3-4 weeks, we have been looking at more than 20 top people from the United States and around the world to join our board here. And we picked them out, and on Monday there's going to go a press release out where we're going to present the 7 new board members. And I'm so honored, so proud about presenting those A players that we bring to the board. With this new board, we're really, really going to have a first-class board that can support our growth for the future. And the people we are bringing in is really first-class people, as I said. They have backgrounds. One of the board members was the former CEO of Fisher-Price, Tiger Toys. We have people from Walt Disney. We have people from Goldman Sachs. We have the founder of Home Shopping Network and a lot of other top profile. But I'm not going to talk so much more about it because the press release is going to go out here on Monday and you can take a look at it. What I also want to say to you as leaders is that we are preparing ourselves now to upgrade our company to NASDAQ, to be the big $1 billion company that our goal has been for the last couple of years. And a lot of changes is going to happen over the next 60 days. Some of the leaders called me and said, Michael, can we not get the information in advance before it actually happens so we can prepare ourselves? And I'm sorry to say you cannot get that because we are a public company and we need to share the information at the same time with everybody. But I want to say now that a lot of changes is going to happen over the next 60 days. So please prepare yourself, get used to it. But one thing you need to understand is that all the changes we are going to make here is only what we call improvement. This is really, really to line up the best team that you can line up, so we have the strongest foundation to take it to be this world-class company that we all are dreaming about. So with that, one more time I want to congratulate you with all the exciting things that Jerry announced here today, and I'm really, really looking forward to see everybody to our next international event in Dubai. Yes, I already announced some of the things that's coming here, but it's still only the tip of the iceberg what's going to happen in Dubai. It's going to be a world-class event. And for all those new $1 million contracts, the whole concept we have is the last day we're going to have a closed meeting. We have actually a surprise for all vice presidents, senior vice president. We're going to have a closed gathering. And this is on that time, this is where we're going to sign all the $1 million contract. That means that in the next couple of weeks, every vice president, every senior vice president is going to receive 2 of those $1 million contracts. And now they have from now on to Dubai to go out, get those contracts signed, find the leaders they want to offer those contracts to, and the last day at the Dubai event, it's going to be signed. But we are only going to sign it to people who are actually in Dubai. That means yourself and your new prospect has to be at the Dubai event. And the reason for that is that there's going to be an A team and there's going to be a B team in the future. And the A team was actually the leaders, the people who has been in Dubai, because this is a historical event for us, and it's really the event where you see the rocket takes off and takes us to be the leading e-commerce company in the next couple of years. So with that, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be on this call today here. I hope you are as excited as we are about all those new things here and the great information. So with that, I want to thank you so much for your time and give it back to you, Jerry.
Thank you so much, and I know every single leader that is on this call appreciates that. As you were talking about Dubai and the signing of the contracts and being together, all of us want to be behind the velvet rope. We want to have the ring side, the court side. We want to be at the front row. We want to be in first class. Every single one of us. Well, guess what? We just rolled that out to you. Folks, over the last 14 days as leaders, you've heard everything from new platform, Dubli Academy, mobile app, everything that is coming, the bonus that we launched exactly 2 weeks ago. You asked for it. You have it. $300, $1,500 in more fast start commissions. And then today, 14 days later, Michael, I know we both are going to sleep better. The corporate team is going to sleep better because we don't have to hold it in anymore. I can only imagine what the phone calls, the presentations are going to be like, but more importantly, for you as leaders, vice presidents and above, and those sales directors that are going to take action, when we're together, all of us at the Dubai Summit, it will be a celebration that this industry, and I believe business, has never seen before. Again, events drive the business. You'll get the notices. You'll know exactly when you can start to register. With this Dubli business model, with these promotions, you're going to need to register and make sure your team members are registered immediately. And as Michael pointed out, for the $1 million contract, you have to be there. At the Atlantis, the Palm, Dubai, many of you on this call have been there. You've driven by. You've stayed there. You couldn't wait to participate, and now you're going to be able to do that with us. Michael, we're headed for a world tour. You're going off to Europe from New York and Miami and being on the East Coast of the United States. I'll be leaving in the coming days for India, which is next week or 1 week from Monday. Then it's off to Dubai. on a Wednesday night for a big presentation with Thomas Schmitz and all of our incredible sales directors and VPs that will be in attendance. While Michael's in the EU, the European markets, then I'll be coming back to the United States for Virginia Beach. One more time, I got so excited. Virginia Beach, Salt Lake City, Portland, and then we conclude the U.S. portion in San Diego. The rooms are filling up. It's going to be an event. It's going to be crazy. And now we have content. I can only imagine what the leadership as well as those attending are going to be able to springboard out of all of these events. And then a quick run to Asia, quick run to Japan, Korea, and over the coming days, we're looking at adding 1 or 2 additional countries. With that, folks, I gave you my email address. I know you can't wait to get off this call and share the great news with your team and your team members. Teamwork makes the dream work. And Michael Hansen, one more time, and all the corporate team members, thank you from all of the network. We now can take this company from good to great. Make it an outstanding day. Thank you all for being on our special webinar.